Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Conversations on Entrepreneur under the Steelpan Business Entrepreneurship Series with Music TT, celebrating Global Entrepreneurship Week in Trinidad and around the world. We'll be chatting every day for this week with local and international music and creative steelpan business professionals, learning more about the rules, discussing trends, COVID, entrepreneurship, and anything else in between. My name is Akua Leith, and I will be your host. Joining me today, we have Ms. Jennifer Moore. Ms. Jennifer Moore is an entrepreneur and innovator. She has been successfully managing her business for over 25 years and has inspired many young people towards entrepreneurship. Mr. Leroy Wilson, Pan 2000 and Beyond was founded over 22 years by its CEO, Mr. Leroy Wilson. Mr. Wilson, a pannist who conceptualized the idea to improve the appearance of steel pan accessories. As a professional for the past 19 years, he saw the need to upgrade the pan industry with his skills by bringing quality products on the market. Leroy ensured the tradition of providing Pan 2000 and Beyond customers with products of consistent quality on the promised delivery date of our fair prices. Right, guys, I just want to say Mr. Wilson had an eye surgery recently, so he's not being rude with shades. Let's allow him, right? Lovely. So let's welcome Ms. Jennifer Moore. All right. Let's start with Mr. Wilson.
Right.
Good day, sir. Introduce yourself to the audience. Definitely, just tell us about yourself, tell us about the role you play in the creative industry thus far.
Okay, hi guys, Trinidad and Tobago. Most of you all, well, if you don't know me, you know the product by now. Pan 2000 and Beyond, we make sticks, cases, and stands. The most popular ones are the sticks and the cases. Well, my name is Leroy Wilson, CEO and manager of Pan 2000 and Beyond, innovator and creator and musicians. Well, that's basically the start about me.
Right. Well, we know you definitely have accessories. What are some of those accessories that you created?
The accessories that was created over the years is, well, the sticks, I mean, over the last 20 years, we have about 8 different range of sticks.
Wow.
And 8 different types of, let's say, tenor sticks, right? We also have different type of cases for all the instruments, even the drum set. You know, we have been really creative over the last 20 years to make a dent into the market so that we make sure all the instruments is being covered when it comes to accessories.
Right.
The main focus most people, focus on is the tenor pan.
Mm-hmm.
And I have created over, like I said, 8 different type of sticks for the tenor pan and going down the line. So the product, a lot of people know the product out there. First time they're seeing the person. So we can get together and know more about the person.
Right.
And understand the product and the vision of Pan 2000.
Right. You said 8 different versions. What drove the different versions? Was it song? Was it texture? Equipment?
Well, my background in the music industry started by playing with the band Trinidad and Tobago Show.
Wow.
Which I was a member of for like about a few years, and it was in the 90s. We resided in California. We used to play Disneyland, and we used to play pan from like about 9 in the morning to like about 6. So we had a lot of playing or performance to do. And then we will do outside gigs. So I played a lot of pan, provide the world with a lot of music, right? So back then, we had some deficiencies with the instruments, like, sometimes you're playing whole day, your rubber start to go bad, you're tired, when you have to move from one gig to the next, you're pan in your hand.
Right.
You started to feel some deficiencies
right.
of the constant movement. And being the kind of person I am, I'm a little creative when it comes to different things.
Right.
I started kind of creating products to make my life easy.
Right.
When it comes to moving around in California. And that is where some of the things started, And one of the first pan cases that I made was for Manish. Manish is in Japan. And I think Manish still have that case, and that case is almost 25 years ago. Manish and Noel Lapierre. Those were the first two guys that, got a product from Leroy, but in a hobby sense, it wasn't in a business.
Right.
It was just working and that is where Pan 2000 started. And then after seeing the need for the product to be a national thing, and when you live in the States, one of the common things we used to hear is that nothing good could come out of Trinidad.
Wow.
So with that in mind, I started, putting brain to paper and coming up with ideas to represent Trinidad and Tobago as a country, and as the birthplace of Pan. Let us make the world feel proud of us, not just with the instrument, but with the accessories.
Right.
And because the accessory market wasn't there before.
Right.
So we started creating products that accompany the instrument, make the instrument look good, and that is how Pan 2000 started. And the ideas just keep rolling.
Right.
And so far, I've come a long way. The product is out there. A lot of people know about the product. They're proud of the product. They're proud they even have the product.
Right.
And I'm grateful for that. But they have a long way to go.
Right. So definitely, any time when Pan 2000 started, as you said, there was a need. You solved a problem.
Yes.
Solving a problem, you created this support industry that goes along with the pan that is now part of the packaging. So very, very good. I remember at one point, correct me if I'm wrong, it was just Pan 2000. And then now it's Pan 2000 and beyond.
Yes, right. Okay. I started the business in 1999.
Right.
And I think back then, we had the whole idea about what 2000
Yes.
So we were going through that, right? And I was trying to come up with a name that could represent, and something when something feels right. And brainstorming with the family at the time, using the word like pan, but it must be pan, pan, cat, whatever. And then, boom, Pan 2000. Right, so, Pan 2000 come out, but then one day I went out there and somebody said, so what happened after Pan? What happened after 2000? That was the height of the time. So
Right.
it was just a matter of sticking in, and so then we could reach 100 years from now, so that's how the and beyond came in. So, but it's all futuristic. So everything we do is like and beyond.
Right. Good. Well, Leroy, as you said, I know your brand. I use your brand a lot. Your brand has been used at the national level. Around the world. So I know your product. What type of things now? It seems like your business is established. The brand is there. You have a clear vision of where you want to go and what you want to do. What are some of the things you think could come out of that foundation that you need thus far?
But what I would like, for Pan 2000, to me, to be constantly creating products to improve the quality of the instrument in the sense of visual and sound.
Right. Okay.
Because my mind more function with sound. You guys, you have everything down pat.
Right.
So to me, I always look at the instrument, and the instrument is talking to you, but nobody is listening.
Wow.
So to me, my biggest audience is when, let's say, when I walk in the National Steel Orchestra and see all the instruments set up there, that's when they're talking to me.
Right.
Not the players.
Yes.
So I always listen to them in the silent.
Yes.
And to me, they're saying something. They're saying they want the song better. They want the song a certain way, but nobody is listening.
Right.
So I will tune into the pan, create the products, to make the instruments sound the best it could through the players and through guys like yourself. So the vision is to continue that, spread it to the national, so that they can understand the common vision, which you did understand at one point.
Right.
So like that, and then let's see how we can take pan as a country and sell it to the world as a package or as a product.
Right.
So by using the word pan, we always look at the instrument alone.
Right.
But that was 20, 25 years ago.
Right.
So right now we have an industry where Jennifer and myself, we have an active role when it comes to the package of the product now. So now we're supposed to look at not just the wood pan, it's a product. How do we sell the world that product? And we've been doing it so far as individuals, because we network with the consumers. Yes, we do our thing.
Right.
But how do we do it on a national level?
Right.
And export a product? And to me, the product includes the sticks, the cases, the stands, the musicians, the arrangers, everything. We have it in Trinidad.
Yeah.
How do we sell it to the world? And how do we package it as a group of people? We have everything in place. We just have to work together.
I'll definitely agree with that. But the National Steel City Orchestra, as you know, we did embark on that quality sound playing with your specific sticks. And as you say, you're not just based on the accessories that doesn't look, but you're also based the industry based on how it sounds. Because I can remember growing up here, and even myself, before I started playing, the pan, I used to synonymously say it's too long. Right? So about that. So now the fact that we understand the accessories, you understand, okay, there's the sound, and now you brought it to the point of it's not just a pan, it's a product. And when you say a product, you're talking about the package which comes with the pan, as you all saw the cases, you have the sticks, we have the tuner, we have the educator, and we just don't have them. We have them as professionals as well.
Exactly.
So create them to be one body, one song, one brand, or one engine selling a product to the world. Exactly. I like that. I like that. How can we do that? I like that. That's definitely conversations to continue having. You have any ideas pertaining to?
Well, I mean, being an innovator, but in my mind, I think, let me see how to put this. I mean, I don't want to be offending anybody.
Yeah, that's right.
But I'm an individual, right? I think we could do it together because we have a lot of, as we already acknowledged, we have individuals who doing things already. We already have our own brand, right? But we don't represent the country, we represent ourselves.
Individuals, I guess.
Right? So we want to be able to represent Trinidad and Tobago to the world because I think this product could reach as far as every cell phone reach in the world. A pan could reach it.
Wow.
Or the pan product,
right,
could reach every school, every corner of the world. We could do. But if we do it as a group, we come together, in a later meeting, we could come together and, we form a body.
Right.
And in the simplest sense, we will use the word Amazon, right, a local Amazon, right, where anything you want in pan, right, we can supply, right, from a Trinidad point of view, right, and we could, right. So
this is starting the conversations, right? Yes. I think that's like that. Guys, I really want to take this time now and let's bring in Ms. Jennifer into the conversation. I know you were on the camera there, which is all over that. Hi, Jennifer.
Good afternoon. You hearing me?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hi, Leroy.
Sierra cases. I learned Jennifer Sierra cases the same person today. So.
Same person.
So, Jennifer, if you could just tell us about yourself, tell us how you got into the creative industry with your product brand.
Okay. I will go back to the beginning. My name is Jennifer Moore. I am the owner and the manager of Sierra's Professional Pancake Center Limited. We are located in Peterborough and San Juan. And I got started at the age of 17.
Wow.
I always knew how to sew. So my aunt got me a job in an upholstery shop. I started there. I stayed there for about 4 years. And in 1994, the owner of the business, he migrated with his family. So I decided, well, do the work, let me try and see. I'll give it a year. And if I succeed, then I will continue. So I started in 1994 and 26 years later, I'm still here.
Wow.
That's my story.
So definitely, Sarah, so you were a seamstress, so you could sew. Why?
Well, I would know. It's sewing clothes, so I call myself a stitcher. So a stitcher. So really and truly, upholstery was our main business.
Okay.
Pan cases was a seasonal thing. So for carnival time, we will do a couple pan cases. But when Mr. Harrington left, So when he migrated, I decided I really didn't have the love for the upholstery. So I decided I saw the need really. So I decided to go after that market. It started really with education. We had to go out there and make people understand the importance of a pan case, because I mean, back in the day, pan men used to walk around with a pan in their hand. So you now have to convince them of the importance of the case. A lot of people think also because the pan is a steel instrument, it's durable, but it's very fragile. The notes are very fragile. So that's the kind of education that we have to start. The conversation we have to start with music teachers, with the fraternity, making them understand the importance of protecting the instrument.
Right. And spoke to Chrome Furnishers, and the story of this started was Rudolph Charles actually going to a grandfather and saying, hey, I want to try this pan being chrome plated. Did you have a story like that? Did someone come to you, or you were just based on?
No, Mapo, that's
Mapo. Right, okay.
Mapo, yeah, that's Richardson, yes. He came to Mr. Harrington probably about 2 years after I started. He said his daughter is playing the pan. It's too heavy for her to carry around, so you want to get a pan case for her.
Wow.
So we started with a soft case, really. It was more of a carrying case. It really wasn't a case to protect the instrument.
Right.
But since then, pan cases have evolved into what is fully protected case.
Right.
Which if you travel, you could throw it around and notes would not be tampered with or damaged.
Right.
So Mapo was our first customer.
Wow.
And
good to know.
That would have been 1990.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Leroy's stories were solving his own issues. You know, he was a musician, he was a pannist, so he wanted to move around when he was out and playing with the
Trinidad and Tobago
showboat. So it's good to hear different starting points. On your end, because I mean, it's no longer just a case, it's branding the individual. I have a case from you as well, but I place my name on it, it have the national flag. Did that come immediately, or that is something that evolved?
No, it evolved over the years. The problem with my cases, they last too long. If I'm myself. So I have to always reinvent the cases. I have to find ways all the time to reinvent. So somebody would not mind having 3 cases for me. So you have the just plain cases. We did a lot of different things over the years. We added the backpack. So we realized Japanese women love to move around. But they move around a lot on their bicycle. So we came up with the invention, put in a backpack. Then we realized, well, as I tell you, every 4 to 5 years, we try to come with something fresh. So we came up with the brand of the instrument, because we see the cases as an extension of somebody's personality. So we gave them the option to really customize cases. And customize it, I mean, any kind of print, anything you want placed on the case, we could get it done for you.
Right.
So
I mean, that's definitely, and as Leroy said as well, both of you all are maybe the most, or the 2 players locally for doing these cases. Yeah. You know? And there's enough space for everyone. We definitely know that. Well, in me and in my travel, I would have saw other type of cases, you know, like these hard shell cases and that type of thing. I think, Leroy, you do some of those. And those are hard plastic.
No, nothing hard plastic. What I did was the flight cases.
Right. Yes.
Right. I got the opportunity to do it for the National Steel Orchestra.
Right.
Okay. And then I got another opportunity to do it for All Stars, Trinidad All Stars.
Okay.
Right. And I think they have them right now.
Right. Okay.
So I extend the capabilities of the cases.
Right.
In the sense of how do we protect our instrument when the bands are not leaving from here.
Okay,
because so and then we are restricted when it comes to products, certain accessing certain materials. So we do it to our best of our ability from here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Out there have a lot more, but from here, yes, we can handle ourselves from here.
Right.
And we're not competing with the world.
Right.
But we are creating a world-class product right in Trinidad.
Nice one. Good words, man. So Sarah, are you in terms of your cases, are you going into that hard plastic approach as well? I mean, have you done those?
Yes, actually, I would say about a couple of years ago, we won a grant from the Ideas to Innovation. We had submitted a proposal, which was in that same hard plastic case. But the problem that we found, we got the prototype, but we needed to get it tested. We approached the University of Trinidad and Tobago, also the University of the West Indies, Kariri as well, because we needed to now test the product. And that gap that we had with that process. So we have the case there, but we need to get it tested now. So when we start selling it, we could actually certify and say, well, it could take this amount of weight on it. And so that's the way that we're looking to go, hopefully.
Where did you access the grant from? I missed where you said?
Ideas to Innovation. We had submitted the idea. That would have been, I think it's 2014.
Right.
And we went through a process with Kariri to develop the hard plastic. We did. Yes. And we got a prototype, but then really we got a prototype that was not tested.
Right.
So we made approaches to different, the universities, we did both universities, as I told you, also to Kariri to see if we could get it tested now. And we're left now with a product tested that can to the market. But that's the way the company is heading also.
Right. Excellent. Well, as you said, grants, I definitely know of the Ministry of Trade more or less helping, I think it is specific to manufacturers, I'm not sure how it went, with some type of injection, some type of grant to help with their equipment and that sort of thing. Was that trickle down to you guys like you?
No, that was just for the pan manufacturers, not the other players in the industry. So no accessories, nobody that does accessories could access the grant. But I heard that this is just the phase one part of the grant.
Right. Okay.
They are kind of compiling information as the other players in the market. So hopefully they would include the accessories, people like Leroy himself, and the other persons who making sticks as part of that grant facility. Okay.
Well, good to hear phase one, phase two, and it will have many more phases going forward. Conversation more. What's that?
I was saying we are grateful for the injection and the confidence that the government has shown the industry.
Right. What I was going to ask was, you talk about the local market. Have you all been pushing a product to the foreign market, regional, international, and has it been flourishing? How has that been over the last few years?
Well, we work backwards. Our biggest market really used to be the U.S. market, because the universities and schools abroad, they invested in music programs. So before 2009, I would say 80% of our business came from the US market, well, externally, because it was Japan. We had clients in Switzerland as well, England and the States. But with the financial crash, we were forced, we lost about, I would say, 70% of our market went when the financial crash happened. And I would say up until today, we have never really regained that market, because they never reinvested, or if they did not do it through Trinidad.
Right.
So we were forced now to look regionally and locally. But around that same time, the Pan in the Classroom initiative happened, so we would have gotten business locally. That would have been between 2009 and 2010. And after that, we were forced to now try to penetrate the regional market, also the local market.
Right. What would you do?
All right. Well, how I handled that as an individual by itself, the product was making some headways, and after a while, I think it started to make sense Why would you buy an empty case and ship out an empty case, right? So the idea started coming in. If we need a case, then it's best we send a pan with it, right?
Right.
So we find the customers started to back up of ordering a case by itself. So then they will order the cases through the pan units.
Right. Okay.
So what I did now, after realizing that it doesn't make sense to not ship an empty case, because the product is all over,
right.
All over as far as Alaska,
right?
Some in the Middle East and all.
Right.
But how I tried to make a breakthrough was to network with the pan tuners,
right?
Because we are following them, we are complementing them, right? So what I did is to network with the pan tuners as much as possible, right? And give them the opportunity to put their name on my product.
Okay. All right.
So, and to me, so I was giving them incentive to be part of PAN 2000 so that they could get their name out there too. Because at one point, sometimes you have the PAN and it doesn't even know who's it. So in order to give them a proper mileage, because you're making your name out there, but you still need them. So what I did was come up with the ideas of, okay, guys, you're the idea, because I need to keep going forward.
Right.
So I following you, you following me.
Right.
I create a wave already.
Yeah.
Right. So PAN 2000 is already considered a good brand. You know what I mean? So with the product, say, well, listen, okay, let's call a name. Let's say Roland America.
Yes.
Roland, what is the name of your company? I will give you the opportunity to put your name on my case.
Right.
Same PAN 2000 case. But wherever that case goes,
you see
they will see Roland. Right. So you will get some mileage.
Right.
Of my product. And I will get some mileage of your product.
Right.
So by doing that, I extended myself more locally.
Right.
So the more pan tuners I network with is the more you keep moving forward. So they are the ones, and that's how you try to do it.
Wow. Oh, that sounds nice. I mean, definitely because networking for partnerships,
right.
That whole thing of yes, good stuff, guys. I mean, what are some futuristic plans? I mean, I hear definitely you know your product. It's not just local, it's regional, it's international. What next? I mean, we know there's a shortfall. Do you all think the industry is now level off? It's just that it's dormant for a while, it's going to spike back up? Because everything is a cycle. I truly believe that. Are we preparing for that new windfall, not windfall, but that new climax that is coming around? What are your thoughts on that? Let's start with you, Sarah.
Yes, well, I believe in never wasting a crisis. So with this COVID situation, we're in the process of revamping our website. We would make it totally e-commerce. We even offering delivery service to locals as well.
Wow.
You understand? So excuse me. Yes, sorry. Yes. So that's how we're approaching. Hello, you hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Okay, good. Yeah, sorry. Yes. So that's how we are approaching. Well, we are dealing with this COVID situation right now. For us, what I see for myself in the future, honestly, the industry, I see we need to come together. We need to come together and decide where we want to go as an industry.
Right.
The potential for the pan is so great.
Wow.
We visited NAM in 2018. There was over 3,000 exhibitors there, and not one booth was a pan. A pan. And I'm seeing possibilities are endless for us. We have to reintroduce pan to the world and show persons how pan can be integrated into music, into orchestras, into schools, into any band. You understand? The potential, the market is so huge. And we're here thinking everybody knows about the pan. No, we were there and they were saying the pan, that's like some black magic thing. I said no, but that's the imagery that they have of the pan. So to me, we are the ones that have to reintroduce the world to the pan in terms of showing the world what the pan could do, how the pan could accompany any instrument. and complement it. You understand? To me, that it's up to us. We have to show them what the pan could do and stop leaving it for people to assume that people know what the pan could do.
I like that. What about you, Leroy?
Well, I agree with Jennifer a lot. What I see now is that now because I provide 3 different type of products, not just the case, the sticks, and the sticks. To me, the sticks surpass the case.
Okay.
Right. I think the future for us is about as a country. In my mind, I think we have a long way to go when it comes to where we can pan reach, but we have a lot to offer. Right. Cases is one. Sticks is one. It have different type of sticks that can make the instruments sound different. Right. Because in my playing, we were exposed to a lot of different environments. Right. One minute you'll be outside, and next minute, somebody will want you to be performing right in the corner there. And they want to hear themselves while you play. Right? So to me is that there are different times that the pan is exposed to different environment. Right. And we must be able, because what we sell in the world, we're not selling the world just an instrument. We're selling the world a song. To let them know, hey, this instrument could do whatever we say it could do. And it can go at whatever volume we say it could do. Right? And the volume comes from the player. But sometimes the player, sometimes you get excited. You know the thing. Right. We get excited. And then, so while we perform and we get in the groove, sometimes we miss the point that we are actually performing for somebody. Right. We have an audience, and sometimes we miss that. Yes. And then you just hear, hey, all the things go up. Right. Okay. And then with those negative words, you find it kind of, Right. So to me, it's like the future of pan is not just about the song, it's the way we provide the song to the world, the level in which the control we have over the instrument now, because we have different sticks, so that the player can be normal. Okay. But the sticks
it keeps
will control it. Right. And the product is already ready. Right. So we have a lot to offer the world. Right. I have a lot to offer the world. Right. And so I think we have a good future. Right. We just need to come together as a country, because I am very passionate about my country. And I think Jennifer is the same way. We understand you're the same way. But if we could do it as a group, 20 years ago, we didn't have accessories. 20 years now, we have accessories. We have Jennifer, we have maybe a brand. So now we have a complete product. We sell in the world product, not just the pan. So we have more for the world. And we want to reach every school in the world. We want to follow this. Right. And to me, that is where we need to go. And once we put the right heads together, and one day we will do it, we can sell the world a product, not just a pan, right? Because it's more than pan. Right. And the government, the people, now understanding people like Sarah and myself, right? Because we are accessories, right? So we now gain our little recognition that an industry that we created 20 years now. So now it's a package. It's no longer just pan. Right. And so I think our future is good. We just have to prepare.
I like that. But definitely, Sarah, that e-commerce move is a big move. Having your online shops and that sort of thing. Leroy, I think when you even to sticks, C.E.O was like a percussionist. A percussionist will walk around with a bag. I mean, steelpan is a percussive instrument. It's almost the same concept. But they have different sticks in that bag for different reasons. So you can see now, you all can make stick bags now. Stick bags with a Ford. Okay, this is for social performance. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Well, we do cases. Yeah, we do cases not just to the pan. Right. I make cases for almost any other musical instruments. Right. No, but I call myself a problem solver. So persons come to me with, I can tell you the amount of different things I would make bags for. That so I just see myself as a problem solver. I could make a bag for anything that you need a bag made for. But so I also believe, well, the pan for me, the pan is just I I love what I do. I have a passion for the industry. You understand? And that's why with the pan, I tend to just let my imagination just run free. So when persons come to me with an idea, we go from the idea to the product. That process is seamless. So once,
Right.
how we really came up even with the idea of the print, we saw these, well, panels, they love, show, they love the show. So we
Right.
said, you know what, when they play in their instrument, the cases, they don't need to hand out a call card anymore. All your information is on the case. You
Right.
understand?
Becomes
So
part of the
for
performance.
me, innovation, we have to, pardon?
It becomes part of their performance.
That's it. That's it. And we have to always keep innovation as this kind of center point for the industry. We have to bring it into the 21st century because a lot of the processes, even in making the pan, thank God now, they're using a lot of science, they're using a lot of technology, but we have to put more of that into the industry itself. And to me,
Right.
that's how we would attract young persons to come in. Just think about
Right.
agriculture. Long ago, young persons didn't want to get into agriculture, but now they're
Right.
seeing where they're using the technology now to make it not so labor intensive. And it's the
Right.
same imagery young persons have with the pan. They think about somebody ponging away at a pan, and they would have seen either their uncles or somebody in the area doing this kind of back-breaking work. We have to now include the technology within the industry to encourage young persons to come and make a career or make this part of what they want to do.
Right.
That's
So
how I see it.
definitely a good segue point there. What do you think we could do to really encourage more persons, as Jennifer said, as making steel pan, any aspect of it, a career?
I think well, we are on a good track so far because I think for the last month I've been seeing where those guys, those little guys, those brothers on them, Quadranton, and then I think UTT have a little thing where they're training.
Yeah,
Right, they have a program running. So I think we're going in the right direction. So where we building a young industry, and as Jennifer said, they are technology driven, right? I mean, the more we can make it easier for them, the industry will survive. And I think we're moving away from the actual hammer where you have the mechanical thing. So I think we have a good future, right, in the industry. We just have to do it right. And make it work for Trinidad and Tobago.
What about, because I growing up, I'm a young, to school, I am looking to go into something that I believe will carry me and my family to a position where I can live off of this thing. We are seeing persons who, because of their interaction with the instrument, fall into a little niches, who want to be a tuner, who want to be a builder. But I'm talking about, are we attractive? Not just the labor-intensive part or the creative part, the craftsmanship as an industry, are we attractive? Can they see themselves, okay, I can see myself as Leroy, I can see myself as Sarah. How many more persons I can see myself as Akua? What are we doing? What could be done? Because to me, sometimes if I don't know what I know, or I don't share the same passion, it could be at a point you say, this is not the industry for me. When we negativity at times, I think more on that level, what can we do? What do you all think we can do as a society? I mean, it may not be a question posed to you all in terms of what you could do, but things that you all see happening that could be better. That type of thing. Is it as you say, handsome, or is it sexy enough as an industry to attract the persons
No, it's not.
or the young persons?
And just picture me, I think I am one of the only females in this male-dominated industry. So I probably might have to put myself out there some more to encourage women.
Right.
I don't want to just exclude the men, but I'm just thinking it's really a male-dominated industry. I was trying to think today, does it have any other female in the
But we
industry?
the shows, and they have the same point because Miss Mohammed and her daughter, well, far as around, but it's almost the same thing. Yeah.
So we probably have to. We have to show them. If they don't see it, it's only in seeing it they could see themselves doing it. So we have to probably put ourselves out there some more and show them that you could make a life, and you could take care of your family, and you could live a comfortable life. So as a body or as an industry, we have a lot of work to do, but I think we have enough passionate people about the industry that could make the changes and show persons that you could have a future in the pan industry, and you could live comfortably also.
Right.
You
Because
know?
when I push it a little further, right? I push it a little further. You can see,
Okay.
and you all are definitely the persons, and you have to put your name on it. Who started off as accessories part of the industry? But that's a sole trader, cottage industry type thing where you would have generated your own funds, and when you look at other markets, other industries, person could walk into a job. I want to apply for this job. I want to serve at this job for this time. That type of industry I'm talking about, where the cottage industries now become a full-fledged business where we hire staff, and we have all these things running like Sarah, Pan 2000, you have employee staff of about 200 plus persons because you're now servicing 7.7 billion people in the world. And real vision, we now could carry the pan like a cell phone in the hands of everybody. Even before that, even getting in the hands of a trained begonia. So that type of thing. Are you expanding or thinking of putting a business where it's no longer just based on your craftsmanship, but training the youths and having those other support persons coming up behind you?
Let me see like that.
Sure.
I think for around 2000, well, I mean, I gotta leave something for my family.
Right.
So I have it like a family business,
right,
because I wanted to go into generation.
Right.
But from a holistic point of view, the vision we have is to make this an international company where maybe one day we could be on the stock market. Right. Around 2000 on the stock market, because everybody knows the brand, it's so big that, that's the vision. But from a local point of view, I think to create that kind of industry you're talking about, where the young people can have a play, if we get together as the professionals in the game already, we come together and talk and create an industry, one industry.
Right.
Not the products, one industry.
Right.
Example, the simplest example, Toyota Hilux, Toyota Corolla. That is Japan.
Right.
Pannist Trinidad.
Right.
We selling a product.
Right.
So then we create an industry where everybody,
it's a big industry, but you have different departments.
And once we do that, because our market is the world.
Right.
The world is our market. So, we have all those opportunities, right? And as we say, a local Amazon, right, in the sense of everybody knows Jennifer Case. Okay, you know Jennifer Case, we have this somebody, networking everything. Networking, and we're doing everything together.
Right.
While we still trying to, because we already carved the way.
Right.
But we can do it together as a country, because that is what we represent. We live here. We need to make our country proud and make ourselves proud.
Right.
So that the young generation coming up could follow us.
Right.
Because we already carved the way, but we need to carve it more.
Right.
But maybe we need to get together and
one umbrella company.
Yes,
One big umbrella company.
Do it.
What do you think, Jennifer?
Well, our company, we have been in negotiations to really partner with an external or a company outside.
Right.
So in that way, I really don't have to be making everything from scratch, or we don't have to, make everything ourselves. So
Right.
that's how we plan to really expand, where everything is not so labor intensive, because the labor in Trinidad is very expensive.
Right.
So we are in the process of, we're negotiating right now to actually partner with them, where they could sell from there. They don't always have to, even if I get sales, it will go directly from where the company is.
Yes.
So I don't have to make, to me, if we have to kind of get away from thinking that we have to make everything ourselves. We can have part of our product line items that we import, or items that we partner with somebody else with to sell, because that has been one of my biggest problem in terms of actually getting to run the business properly, because I actually work in the business.
Exactly.
You can't really spend time working on the business, and that takes away from actually helping you grow your business.
Yeah.
So it's
So I like
hard
that.
work, but pardon?
I said I like that you develop the brand, and now the brand could be anywhere in the world in terms of who's manufacturing
Exactly.
it. That is what lives on, right?
Exactly.
I think
Exactly. And I have a team. What I found also very useful, we don't have a board of directors, but I have a team of people that I could bounce ideas off of, and they could give me idea and support. Because when your head is down and you're down doing the work, you always need to kind of take a break and spend some time on your business.
Yeah.
That's the only way it will grow. That's the
The
only way it will
vision.
grow.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. I like that. Taking it off for yourself.
I feel based on the same question with the young people, I think in the last 2 years I have tried something before COVID. In the sense of even the people that work for me, I always try to encourage them.
Right.
Always have more than one income.
Right.
Don't ever depend on one to pay all your bills.
Right. Right.
So with that in mind, instead of this sitting down and doing something for 8 hours and you don't get full production, we know that after. what I did was let them listen. You going free. You do your thing. Right. Come up with the next industry. Right. But yeah, I will substitute this in the sense of I will outsource the work by you.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So I started outsourcing the work.
So the same thing you do internationally, you do it locally, right? Okay.
And the same players.
Right.
So they end up developing another income.
Right.
Plus they will do the outsourcing work for me.
Right.
So pan 2000, it looks like nothing is going on.
Right.
But everything is going on.
Right.
Because the sticks, the young lady who making the sticks, she will do it on her part-time.
Right.
She'll have a normal job.
Oh,
she do it, you pay them. So they have double income. So I always try to encourage them, don't ever put yourself where you have one income. So young people who coming up today, my thing to you is, don't ever depend on one income. Yeah. Always have a creative mind, look for opportunities. Right. I can give you the opportunity because I can split the business.
Right. Because demand brings supply. Multiple
sources of income. That's the way to teach you.
And that worked for me. That worked for me during the COVID season.
Yeah.
Because I did that and I started to run on a stock system.
Wow.
So it's like I will have a room with 100 cases. Nobody buying nothing yet.
Right.
But when the COVID hit and the main players needed a little case,
you were able to.
I could pull from the stock while everybody's at home.
Right.
And even outsource the work to them while they're home because that becomes part of the norm for us. So the COVID didn't affect me that much.
Right. Okay.
But I was still able to supply whoever needed,
Based on your stock.
Right. So that's how I survived the COVID thing. So I mean I changed up the business and that's the direction I go in.
That's what I'm talking about. Guys, I'm seeing some questions on the live. So let's see if we can get some questions. Mr. Carol Taylor, what advice would you give to the steelpan industry to excel together as one unit? Who want to take that one? That sounds like a little right.
All right.
No, honestly, well,
you take
yes.
What read the question?
What advice would you give to the steelpan industry to excel together as one unit?
What?
No, why?
I could go with this.
Go ahead.
For me, I just think we need to be a little more professional. That's has always been one of my biggest issues with the industry. As I was telling you earlier, I deliberately named my business Sarah's Professional Pancake Center Limited. That was to let the world know that you're dealing with a professional here. I know the industry has been always like a hustle, and we have to change that mentality of the hustle mentality, because then you'll always be fishing and looking for a dollar. You understand? So we have to turn the hustling part of it into businessmen. You understand? So I think they need to formalize their businesses and see it as a business. And then we need to come together as a group and decide where we're at right now and where we want to go. and what we need to do to get there. That's a little more togetherness is what we need. We need a little more togetherness. But pan men, or I should say people in the industry, because I don't want to single out the pan men, we have to really see it as a business.
Yeah.
And once we change that mindset, we will develop businessmen, entrepreneurs, because that's what they are. But they see it as a fancy word or a word that they can't pronounce. But that's what we are. They have a natural talent, and we are able to monetize it.
Yes.
Now you just need to put the structures in place to get them there.
Wow. I like it. What about you, Leroy?
Yeah, I think first we gotta see ourselves as first you gotta know what you're about as an individual. You can be part of something.
Right.
Or if you're part of something, understand yourself or what role are you acting in that
In the bigger picture, right?
Right. So like you are Akua. Yes, I mean I know you. You make a name and you had a name from before.
Right.
So now we know who you are.
Right.
Right? And amen. Right? And first find yourself. Find your niche.
Find your niche.
Right? Understand your contribution to the game. And then you can see yourself and have something.
Right.
But if you don't know yourself, then you will end up a lot of negatives will come to your mind.
Right.
Because you don't even know yourself.
You know you. Right.
Right. So you find I take time to know myself. So I am strong. I'm a strong individual. Listening to Jennifer. Yes. So then we reach a point where we understand ourselves. But so before we can come together, individuals who are willing to come together must understand themselves and have a common goal of where we want to go now.
Excellent. I like that.
And we could do it.
So I hope that answers.
That's it. I could just add one thing.
Sure.
Let me just add one. What I could just give you my experience. We in 2009, when we went through the financial crisis, we had to now work backwards and develop a business plan, because initially when I started, I started as a sole trader. A couple years into it, we went and we got well incorporated. We went through the process of registering the business, and then we went back and we did a business plan. 14 years into the business, I actually went back to the beginning. I did a business plan. We went through an innovation program, a very intense innovation program. We learned about marketing, branding, and all the things that in my mind, I thought business was the easiest thing. You make something, somebody buy it, and you get money and put it in the bank. But I think the financial crash taught me that it's not just about selling a product. What's your why? Why are you in business? Why are you in business? And when I answer that why, my pan case, if it's not protecting the pan, then it's not a pan case. It's a case that holds a pan. But it's not I sell protection. I sell protection. And when I answered that why, I was able to know the world was open to me then. And persons need to understand what's your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? And what purpose of your product? We sell protection. We sell protection.
Exactly.
That's what we sell. And we make it look good. Top of it. The protection is what.
Yes.
So people need to why are you doing what you do?
Yeah. Jennifer, I mean, just by the way you speak, I know who you listen to, I know what you listen to. Start with your why, then your what, then I'm hearing it and what you're thinking with you, Leroy. And that's the whole thing. It really starts with you. It starts with you. I'm going to get into another question. This is from Stan West. It's directed to Mr. Wilson. Can you comment on the music that is associated with pans exported? I have seen miniature music booklets sold with a mini pan, but what about the standard instrument? I got the question. I mean, I could take a stab of it. I think it's still something that needs to develop, Mr. West. As you said, with the miniature pan, who really caters for the toy market, they tend to put the color coding on scores or little things so the kids will be able to have fun. And I think it's something that definitely needs to be expanded into the professional instrument, as you said there. So it's definitely something that is lacking, that I think it opens that opportunity to solve that problem. As Jennifer said, she's a problem solver, and same thing with Mr. Wilson here. So question taken. I hope that answer facilitates I think I'm seeing another question from Ms. Thomas. Just want to say I like you. I like you all products. So Mahalia Thomas is saying she loves all products and pannist from Trinidad and Tobago. So that's a nice little endorsement there. What about that? I mean, as Mahalia being a pannist, do you all outsource or should say partner with pannists to help promote what you all do? The sticks, the cases, the stands. You all have a venture down that.
Yes.
Yes? Okay.
I get that question a lot
Right.
because of the sticks.
Right.
Right. But to me, it's like the brand Pan 2000. It's a brand by itself.
Right.
So, and that's a trade secret,
Mm-hmm.
right? That is what separates Pan from another product.
Right.
So to me, how I look at it is that everybody in the market wants their name on something.
Right.
Some of them, they don't even deserve it.
Right.
But they want to be out there.
Right.
Right. And I cannot jeopardize a brand that I already built.
Okay.
To put somebody's name on it where, I mean, you know.
But it's special brands, you wouldn't get everybody. So let's say you handpick this person to promote your brand.
I haven't reached that stage yet because the market and the people themselves are not at that level.
It's not consistent.
Because they will still pick at each other. Why did I pick you? Or why didn't I pick that one?
Right.
And to me, I kind of like shy away from that when it comes to the sticks.
Okay.
But I give it, but on the pan cases, with the pan tuners.
So you see a level of professionalism and
Right.
that is consistent.
Right. But not on the sticks because, you know.
All right. Okay. What would you
Yeah. Well, for us, we work very closely also with the tuners. Well, we have a relationship also with Pan Trinbago. What we try to do, especially with the pannist itself, we would give them, well, especially if we do any branded cases, we will give them like good prices where if anybody comes to them, they would recommend us. So it's not really like an exclusive contract you have with an individual, but then we have very good relationships with our customers. So we will give them preferential prices. So in that case, normally you get a lot of referrals from those, pannists, or even, so you really just have to forge a very strong relationships with the stakeholders, which would be like the tuners. Well, for us as a tuner, we have music stores, we have churches, bands, but we tend to forge a very close relationship with the tuners because really and truly, the pan cannot have to work. It is instrument is not a standalone instrument. It works with the pan because if there's no pan, then nobody.
There's no cases.
So we have a strong relationship with them, and they're technically like our hotel. They will buy, and they are the returning customers then.
I'm training this. I mean, we have some time. I don't mind going over. But me myself, let's just say the production capacity of your business. Let's just say for some great reason, let's say China. I'll go along here. China wants to outfit all their schools, steel pans, but not just the pans, the package, the product. I want to call the language, I'm bringing the product. Are you able at this point to facilitate those numbers, those mass production numbers? I'm not talking about the tuners.
We can't. Well, what I went through, as I was telling you, with the program we went through, we have right now booklets. If we have to ramp up production, we know exactly what we need and who we need to bring into the business. So we would have done that kind of work, where if we have a certain amount of cases, then we could bring in these stats. We used to have a bigger staff because as in the days with the pannist project, we would have done hundreds of cases a month, and we brought on staff for that. So we have it on paper. If we need to ramp up production, then we know exactly the kind of workmen that we need to bring in, the specialists and stitchers and all of that. So but we could still only handle in reality, probably not. If China comes at you one time, realistically we can't do, everything will have to be phased, and done in a phase basis, but we could ramp up if we have to, because that's the kind of
Excellent. What about you, Leroy?
I think, yes, we have the capacity up to a certain level right now.
Right.
And I think, let's say like last year, the capacity for me was like 60 cases per month.
60, okay.
Right? And that's just between our skeleton staff, right?
Right.
So I think, let's say we get the order where, let's look on a yearly basis, we need 3,000 cases,
right,
which is like 100 a month or
right,
150 a month. Because of the outsourcing capacity that I have right now, it could be done once we get all the raw material in time. And to get that done, you have to have a good relationship with your suppliers. It's not just about me, it's the suppliers, who we get the raw material from. If they can handle the capacity too, right? So once they can supply the material on time, I could produce the material, or I could produce the product on time. So it's a kind of a network that could, but yes, we could deal with China. If China decides to come over.
Because, yes, ramping up. I'm talking about now, at least for a little while, that's a normal. I know ramp up. That's a normal. Oh no, that's it. That's a normal. The numbers are up to. Let's say
What's my normal?
Yeah, what's the normal now?
My normal, honestly, I could do probably about 100 cases a month. I have another stitcher that we could bring on, and that's just basic. That's just basic. Four of us, yeah.
Okay.
Because we can have like 25 cases, between 25 to 40 cases, depending on, because if we have an order, sometimes the time we are always able to deliver. So normally, if somebody comes at you with a big order, sometimes they don't know where from the time, but you get it done.
Right.
But normally,
okay.
It's very low.
Let's say, as you're using with China, as an individual, I can handle China.
Right.
As an individual, Sarah can handle China.
Right.
But as a group, we could take on the world.
I like that.
I like it.
No, honestly, if we come together, I think we have so much raw talent in Trinidad that there's nothing that we cannot do together. We could do it. But we just really need, for me, I want to put in a plug for some concessions with the shipping, with the raw materials, because sometimes the tuners are under so much pressure with the raw materials, with the chrome, different aspects of the for the product. It takes the cost too high. So you have to pay this amount of money to chrome, and you have to pay the money to ship. The end product, the end result is we can't bidding ourselves out to the market because it costs too much customer at the end of the day to get the product in hand. So we need some concession. For me, I want to give a plug for research and development as well, because sometimes you have a product, have an idea, but how do you now take it to market? There's most of the time you're left alone, you make the calls, but you don't have that knowledge as to where to go to get what you need, especially in Trinidad. It's tough. So we need research and development to be a big part of anything moving forward. We have to invest in marketing, doing the research. We like to talk about what we think we know without knowing what we know. We need to have hands.
Yes.
Do the research so we know exactly what we're dealing with. And stop guessing. We need to stop guessing. You understand? And I think with that information in hand, we could really solve the problems in the industry. And we're not looking for handouts. We just want assistance. We need certain assistance that we can't make changes to ship it, so that's the kind of concessions we need,
Right.
Because the industry, without industry, we need the industry to survive for us to survive. We have to looking at the bigger picture and not just us as accessories people. We want the plan to really reach its fullest potential. It's there. It's just for us to just get there.
I must say, you said it as just to make sure people know, but I can see from this get-go, we hardly talk about the case in the six. You keep talking about the tuners, you keep talking about the players. So I know your part is beyond just what you do. yours see it as the bigger whole. So that's
the entire value, the value chain
the
is
entire value chain.
there are opportunities for different persons within this whole ecosystem that we have here.
Correct
That
ecosystem.
everybody could make a good living. There room for more people to come on board, and we need the expertise.
Correct. I must say, but we could carry this conversation for hours. We'll just take this question in. Starless again, I had suggested to a pan tuner exporter to either have a website with music associated with the fans and a solo developing mobile app. Any comments? Yes, definitely. I'd like to take that question. I know of a project that it's already been introduced to the public, pan notation, which should be launching anytime soon under Mr. Mark Rukwan and Dr. Neil Benundi and the alike. So Stan, I think in the near future, what you suggested will become a reality. Right? Look out for that. So guys, I mean, is there anything you want to say now that I may not have asked, or something you wanted to get in on this live that I wouldn't miss out, because I mean we're running out of time and I want to make sure you cover all your energies at this point. So I'll start with Sarah, if there's anything you really want to see.
No, for me, I just want to encourage anybody that really wants to get into, well, any industry really, but for the pan industry, you really have to have a love for it. I think having a love for what you do makes it easier. For me, I have a passion for what I do. I love, making people happy then, and I just think my product, but whatever they decide to do, you have to love it. You have to be able to, you're coming to solve a problem. Don't just jump into something where you have 10 other persons. What problem are you solving? Just ask yourself that question. To do a lot of research. People need to do their research before they get involved in anything, in any line of business. So it's just to encourage persons. It have room under this tent here of pan for everyone. We really need the assistance in terms of the concessions, and I really hope this discussion could move past today, where we could actually sit and have a conversation with persons who could actually make the changes that we need. And to understand that we're not looking for handout, we're willing to do. It's hardworking people here. We work with our hands, and we are willing to do the work. We just need the industry itself just needs some assistance. And I want to thank you for having me also.
You're welcome. What about you, Leroy?
All right. Well, I'd like the world to know. Yes, we found 2,000 products. But Leroy himself is a stitcher.
Right, okay.
I can sew.
Wow.
I actually sew. I make cases.
Wow, okay.
Every product that passed through Pan 2000 was created by myself.
Right.
A lot of innovations. Some people, they give you a little ideas because they want to talk to the customer. They always help you enhance the product.
Yes.
But people knowing me as a person, I am multi-talented in the sense of your skills. And that is what makes Pan 2000. Multi-talented within yourself. Right? So if you want to get into the industry, know yourself and you can come into the game, right? And be creative. Don't just come in and copy. Because we have part of the industry now where we're learning to protect things. Right? So it's not just about you coming in and you just copy. No. Understand yourself, understand the game, and you can just go forward, right? And build an industry for Trinidad. I am very passionate about it. Very, very passionate about it. Yeah. And to me, the main client in my mind is the pan.
Right.
That's the person I listen to. Right. Even when he doesn't talk. Right. But that's the person.
I get the
I'd like to say thanks for having me, Jennifer. Right? So all the best, and I know we will do something because I ain't come out of waste.
Excellent. Half of music teaching.
So they can share us on Facebook and also on Instagram.
Yes.
Sarah's Pancakes.
Lovely. So Sarah's Pancakes is on Instagram, Facebook, where will you advertise?
On Facebook.
Facebook. Yeah. Will I add to the papers or just social media for now?
Yes, well, No, well, we know I have well the yellow pages because I get a lot of calls still that have people that actually use the yellow pages. So I don't
Right,
actually
right.
track that. So yeah, we do we are the yellow pages, Instagram, Facebook, a
Lovely.
lot of
And
word of mouth also.
it will definitely help push out those marketing things for you all. They have a series that they run, so definitely we'll get that in and Melissa for sure will send as well facility. So on behalf of the city, behalf of the Steel Pan Business Entrepreneurship Series and Conversation with the Entrepreneur, me being your host, it has been a pleasure hearing from you directly and hosting this series of the last couple of days. I want to say thank you for saying yes. Thank you for coming out and sharing your time and your energies with the wider public and the world. So, with no further ado, let's go do it, keep the conversations rolling and keep your positive energies.
We're waiting for the call, Leroy and I. We are waiting for the call.
All right, all right.
Yeah. Thanks for having us too.
You're welcome, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Definitely
Thank you.
food and safe food. All right, guys. Bye.
Okay, bye.